Hey, I'm Alec Dinkoff, chatting with Steve Todd, creator of Open Sourced Workplace. How you doing, Steve?
I'm doing well, Alec. Doing well. How are you doing?
Doing okay. Doing okay. Getting by. It's a slow Monday, but things will get done. I just wanted to touch base. You've got a new article. Well, it's not so much new, but I did just recently read it. It's how to break down silos in real estate and HR and technology departments to maximize employee experience. It's out right now on Open Source Workplace. It's a great article. It dives into each sector, things to do, what can go wrong. But Steve, I want to ask you first, when I say business silos, what instantly comes to mind?
For me, it's HR, real estate, and technology. It is because that's what I live and breathe, right? That's the world that I live in. And not so much the challenges and the issues. Yes, there are those, but it's more of how do you bring those three really, really important functions together to maximize employee experience, as the article goes on. We think about the day job in a real estate department or at HR or technology department. We often have to come together when we do large projects. And when you do large projects, everyone gets excited, everyone's collaborative, and everyone's working together. All those silos disappear, and then the project finishes, and everyone goes back to their day job and into their work streams, and all these silos go back up. So it's almost like it's something that's not innate in the individuals who are part of the various teams. Sometimes it's just how the work streams are fashioned, designed. And I think some of the things that are raised in the article actually are, steps to actually mitigate some of those everyday silos that actually do come up. And it's something that, I think a lot of organizations are conscious of, especially as we move towards, providing that employee and workplace experience and the role that technology plays in actually bringing all those together. Because, you think about yourself, you go into an organization, you go for a job, you're interviewed. HR initially, they're the ones that sort of connect and bring you in. You're interviewed by whatever department you're working in. Well, you come in, you visit the space. It's actually the real estate team that have actually built the space. The technology is usually the technology used during your interview process. And then you come in to do your job, and all through your work life, it's the HR with your goals, your reviews, all that experience, the workplace, where you sit, the environment your team occupies, the technology you utilize, all that plays into such an important role into an employee experience. So obviously the article talks about the various silos that have been bridged there, and ways that you can actually mitigate some of those. And there's many ways you can do it, but I think we're going to sort of talk about some of the questions about how those different silos are broken and that. But one of the key things I think is to actually have cross-functional groups that actually have various stakeholders from those different groups. So it actually becomes those work streams, everyone's cognizant of how the different departments actually play into the various rules and the various business segments.
Okay. So you kind of touched on my next question. It was going to be, how do we break down those silos? And it sounds like when people are going in between departments and working together, or whether it be a large group project, so everyone understands all these different roles, how they all play a part, and really keeping that as the basis for the project. But like you said, things go back to normal. We are creatures of habit, right? Human beings. So what are some good techniques, whether it be management or personal, just to break down those silos?
I think a lot of it comes down to education and also awareness. So as an individual, I work in real estate, but I know for me to be able to provide the employees that work in the locations that I'm responsible for, I can't do that alone. I can't do it without the technology being enabled. I can't do it with HR buy-in and sort of the employee buy-in, so that everyone sort of knows that we're doing the right thing. And I think that's what a lot of it takes. It does take individuals to sort of pull this and knit this together. And as I said before, sometimes having a group that actually is conscious of that and constantly teaching and informing their teams of those other departments and the importance that they play. It's not that I don't believe anyone doesn't think the other groups are important. I think it's more people believe that actually they just have to focus on delivering their job and what they're being asked to do. And I think sometimes it's more their managers or people within the team have to be just those little reminders that actually maybe we should consider other aspects of it. It's just a natural thing.
Perfect, perfect. And there's nothing, right? It's the way things are, natural. But I should ask, is there any time that there is a good silo? Can silos be good in the workspace or in the office? I'm going to throw a word out, deep work, where you're very focused, not paying attention to other things. Sometimes if you're in a state or a groove getting a lot of things done, you're not focused on the rest of the company. But I know silos can really pertain to departments. So I don't want anybody watching this to get that confused. Steve, if you could enlighten us a little bit more, if there's a possibility for good silos.
Yeah, it's a really interesting question, and I sort of mulled over it for quite a bit, and I thought, where are there good silos? 'Cause that's the important good silos. I think where you have governance, you have oversight. I think they're probably good silos, so they're not influenced by other aspects. And sort of where I'm talking about is perhaps internal audit department, maybe a governance, a SOX control department. Perhaps they're better functioning as they're, disparate silos. So they're not being sort of mixed with other perspectives. Now, obviously, those roles require interaction with various departments, but actually what their roles and responsibilities are very much a siloed, and they're there for the governance of the organization. I think they're probably the ones that I sort of think of are good. I'm sure there are other examples, but they're the ones that sort of came to my mind when I thought about it. But it's a very interesting question. We often, think about the negative aspect of it, but it was an interesting question.
Yeah, most people pay attention to negative press, right? It happens. There's been studies on this, but there can be goods to any bad. Not always, but in a lot of circumstances. And I thought I'd throw that question out there just to see your take on the business world, because I know you're in it and you deal with it every day.
Yeah. No, it's such an important thing, and I think there's, everyone's striving to actually bridge these three departments. The way we sort of draw it up, I sort of look at it: real estate, HR, technology, with each three intersecting over each other, but that center being almost what sort of is almost the goal of employee experience, right? Whenever you get those three intersect perfectly, that's where you really do create the employee experience. So it's such an important thing to really develop within an organization, within teams. And sometimes, as I said, it does not come down to individuals within those various teams who actually come together and work together.
Perfect. Wonderful answers. Thank you very much, Steve, for joining us today. See this article. You can get a link in the description. Videos like this come out every week on YouTube. Thanks for joining us. Like, share, subscribe, send to everyone who would be interested, and we'll see you next week.